Get a £5 free bet every week with Offer Club from William Hill. Simply stake a total of £20 or more across the week on pre-match football accumulators with 4 or more selections, and you'll get a £5 free bet on the Friday. Join William Hill Offer Club on mobile or online now.
I reckon about 4,000 from the UK and Ireland. It's a lot of people. I'm very honoured for the support I have. I think that at the minute in the UK I'm the privilege for me, but I'm hoping that I pick up, some of the East Coast fans that watched me in the last time follow suit and come along, and if there's any Irish in LA or Vegas, then I hope they come out and support too.
Well, your Spanish is great. You showed it. That's going to bring 2 or 3.
Well, I hope so. Maybe 2 or 3 Mexicans might support me.
What makes you feel so confident that the rematch will be the same exact outcome?
Yeah,
what happened in the first fight that makes
when I fight people, when I spar people, I feel like I improve the second time, and I feel like I have a good boxing brain, and I can adapt to different situations. And I've only ever fought QUIGG Martinez, is the only other guy as a professional I fought twice. Although I stopped him, I knocked him out in the 9th round. The first fight, it was a difficult fight up until that point. The second time I fought him, he had momentum. He was a world champion, and I beat him on points, but it was almost a shutout. I won convincingly. I won, comfortable, and that's because I learned from the first fight. I think this time it's going to be the same. I know everything about Leo. He fights, if you look at all his fights, I think he's at 35 to date, he fights the same way every single time. He's head first, he throws a lot of shots, he's very fit, he's very, very tough, he's very resilient, but I just know about him now, and that's going to be the difference.
Being a member of the boxing writers, we just have to vote last week about fighter of the year. It looks as if you're a front runner, you're going to get it. Does that honor mean, how much does that mean?
That's huge. You want to tick off boxes. My main objective was to become a world champion when I turned professional, and I've done that in 2014, and everything else that comes with it is a bonus. But to be potentially in the running for fighter of the year, it's a huge thing for me. I think 2016 was a year that I'll never forget. 2017 potentially has a chance to be even better, and I'm looking forward to getting it going. We're kicking it off with a great fight. This isn't just for publicity, and I'm not a spoofer. I don't tell that a spoofer is somebody who tells lies back home. This is going to be a good fight. There's no doubt about it. And a lot of people come out and see it.
So you don't expect anything different from him this time around?
I'm expecting. Obviously, he had a lot of trouble with his dad in the last camp. Maybe his training wasn't his focus. So I'm expecting a better and preparing for a better Leo Santa Cruz. But in terms of how he fights and his style, he fights the same way all the time, and it's a good way. It's got him to become a 3-weight world champion. He usually wears people down and overwhelms them, but I have serious punching power, and that again can be the difference. When I'm hitting him as he comes in, he maybe not want to be as aggressive, maybe not want to let his hands go as much because he'd be fearful of getting tagged.
Did you feel his power at all in the fight? Or how did you rate it?
Anyone that's sort of this level, can punch hard. Leo can punch. If I'm being honest, I have been hit harder as a professional, but I think it's more to do with me being up at featherweight now. I think I can take a shot better. I was taking something away from my own performances, making 122, and it was just killing me a little bit. And up at 9 stone, 126, I feel comfortable, and that was my first fight. It's only going to get better.
What's been your toughest fight up to this point? What's been your toughest fight up to this point?
The toughest fight, obviously, the Leo fight was very tough, but I enjoyed it. I wasn't the first fight with QUIGG Martinez was very tough again. That was when I was struggling to make weight, and it was the 9th round before I stopped him, and I remember putting him over and just standing in the neutral corner and begging that he didn't get back up because I was exhausted, and there wasn't a lot of of energy left. So the first fight with Kiko was very tough, but again, this fight was tough. But it was an enjoyable fight. I really enjoyed the Leo fight, and I think it's just going to be more of the same.
Has your life changed since the fight with Leo?
Obviously, you get noticed a little bit more when you're back home, but you know, if you want it to change, if you let it change, then it will. If you remain the same person that you've always been, then nothing is that different apart from getting noticed a little bit more.
And immediate rematches are so infrequent these days in boxing. Were you all for this? Did they come to you?
There was a clause in the contract, but if there hadn't been a clause in the contract, I was happy to give him an immediate rematch. I feel that these are the fights that creates legacy and being involved in that. And you know, you talk about Morales Barrera and their rivalry they had, and I could potentially have that with Leo Santa Cruz. So I was genuinely happy to give him a rematch.
Is there another rematch clause in your favor for this fight?
Yes.
Is there?
Yeah.
You said Kiko Martinez was at a better point in his career as when he fought Leo?
No, well, Kiko had a bit of momentum, but when I fought him, when you fought
Leo, was he at a better point when you fought him?
No, I think he was finished when he fought Leo. It was a great performance from Leo. You know, he got the win and he stopped him. But I think that Quigg had already dealt with him. Quigg is an okay fighter. That's all. So I think that Leo, by the time he fought Kiko, I think he was much better when he fought me.
Quigg feels you guys have unfinished business. What are your thoughts on him?
I don't even want to talk about Quigg. I'm expecting him to be in the crowd somewhere. He follows me everywhere I go. So, listen, I've moved on. These are the names I want to be fighting. Leo Santa Cruz, SELBY ABNER, MARES. These are the big names. I've been there and done that with Quigg. And we'll move on, and maybe if he gets a bit of momentum behind his career and starts winning a few things, then who knows. But at this point in time, I'm not thinking about him.
I know you're focused on the fight at hand, but Jesus Cuellar versus Abner Mares are both in division. What's your take on that?
It's a very tough fight. I think it's going to be a tough night for Abner. He's up against a bigger man, big solid featherweight. Training now with Freddie Roach as well. I don't know how many fights he's been with Freddie Roach, but just one. This is his first. Oh, okay, so it's a tough night, but it'll be a good fight. Abner Mares, people are looking past him and think that he's done. I don't think he's done. I think there's still a lot left. He's been in some hard fights, but that is going to be an exciting fight and one I'll have a close eye on.
There's some encouraging signs that you will have good support there. I mean, what Ricky Hatton did in bringing over the audience, and then also what Conor does in bringing the audience to Vegas. Is that what you kind of are leaning on? So January, will they be there?
Yeah, well, if I bring a fraction of what, I don't think you'll ever see what Ricky Hatton done. He brought 20,000 people from the UK to Vegas. I don't think anyone's ever going to do it. McGregor's doing it in his own right in the UFC, a huge name, but I think I'm probably from the UK. I'm the next best thing of the Ricky Hatton. If I can bring a quarter of what he brought, which I think I may well do, that's going to be outstanding and a huge honour for me to, you know, it's not cheap to get from the UK to Vegas or Ireland to Vegas, so especially around Christmas time when people don't have a lot of money. So I'm hoping that they'll come out and they'll make a lot of noise.
Speaking of CONOR McGREGOR, he just got his boxing license yesterday in the state of California. Have you seen him spar in the ring, and why would you rate his boxing?
I haven't seen him sparring, but I think that was almost him kind of, you know, sticking the fingers up to the UFC and getting the boxing license. He was stripped of the featherweight title recently, but Conor, I admire Conor a lot. I think it's amazing what he's doing, and the UFC is huge in the States, and it's big now in the UK and Ireland. But because of Conor McGregor in the UK and Ireland, I didn't really pay attention to it. But when he's involved, I get involved and I watch it. So whatever he does, he's going to make money, and you know, there's this rivalry between the UFC and boxing. I don't think there needs to be. They're two different sports, and if Conor wants to become a boxer, then why not?
Would you help him train?
Now, odds are,
why not? Spar him, maybe. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Odds are there will be more Coronas in the arena than Irish beer.
Yeah.
How are you going to come out to 10,000 boos and expect to win? Obviously, because people say Kovalev was slighted, maybe some judges go opposite way?
I think I'm going to bring a lot of people. I don't think that it's going to be CRUZ on the Cruise. I think it'll be very evenly split. Obviously, it's a lot closer to LA, but you know, it's not about what the crowd, how noisy the crowd are. It's about what you do in the ring. And I fought away from home. I fought Scott QUIGG, and you know, 30 minutes from his house. It's a 30-minute drive from where I fought him to his front door, and I beat him in a very noisy atmosphere. I think it's going to be the same.
Do you think your athleticism is the difference between you and Leo Santa Cruz?
Someone just getting their tits out behind us there.
We're gonna.
See now?
I know.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks, Anna.
Do you think your athleticism is the difference between you and because Leo Santa Cruz comes off as a straightforward volume puncher?
It's one of the things that helps me. Leo's come forward, aggressive, non-stop, throws a lot of punches, but athleticism, punching power, I think I can deal with a lot. I think I can deal with a lot of styles, and that may be the main difference.
Was there ever an was it ever a negotiation? Were you guys ever trying to negotiate fighting Ireland? You said you wanted to fight it.
I would have, yeah. Well, we kind of knocked that on the head when we realised that we didn't know how soon he would have wanted the rematch. We thought potentially he would have went and had another fight before the rematch. So if me and Leo had been fighting in the summertime, then we could have done it in Ireland. But it's just the wrong time of year. It's too cold to fight in an outdoor venue in January.
Hey, Carl, quick question. You're ending this year, 2016, with 2 big wins over Leo Santa Cruz and Scott QUIGG. You're starting the year in 2017 the right way, getting that rematch. Are you happy with the way your career has gone?
I think so. You know, people, we were closely linked with another promotional outfit, Matchroom Sports at the time, and when we left and done our own thing and Cyclone Promotions started up, people questioned it and they thought we were being silly. But you know, I've topped the bill in New York. We've done it on our own. I've fought on terrestrial TV in the USA. I've fought on terrestrial in the UK. I've topped bills. I'm now about to top a bill in Las Vegas. So I think my career has went brilliantly, and I've a lot to, you know, I owe a lot to my management, Barry McGuigan in particular, and everyone else involved in Cyclone Promotions.
And you're going to fulfill one of your dreams by fighting in Vegas. How excited are you about that?
It's huge. It's another box ticked, and it's great. You know, I feel like sometimes I'm in dreamland, and I'm still the same kid in Belfast, the same local guy. Obviously, I get a lot of support, but to see my name in lights in Vegas is going to be huge, and it's going to be, I don't think I'll ever forget it.
My last question.
You've beaten Leo, you've beaten Kiko. You're obviously the man to beat. So who do you want to fight if it's up to you?
I think a big fight after Santa Cruz back home, maybe not so much in the States, but if you want to do a big fight, a big stadium fight, is Lee Selby, and it's a unification fight as well, and he's linked with Al Heyman. That would be an easy fight to make, and again, it's another test. Lee is a very good fighter, someone I admire and respect, but I believe that I could beat him. But listen, I'm only thinking about Leo Santa Cruz at the minute and no one else.